Well, good morning to everybody in the boiler room this morning. How is everybody doing? All right, let's get the show on the road. That's what I'm talking about. All right, guys. Good morning to everybody. Good morning, Betty, Constantine, Ramesh. Definitely some familiar faces in here as always. Junes, how's it going, bud? Ernesto, Raymond, Orlando, another familiar face. Francisco, another familiar face. So good to see everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So I really, I had a very slow start this morning. I actually have somebody out from Spectrum putting in internet right now. So I've been back and forth getting him set up and trying to look at the market and still be here ready to do this. So right now I'm working off my hotspot while he installs the internet. So it was a slow start and I don't have as much to go over as I typically do. So that's where we're just going to have more time to look at some of the stuff you guys got. So there was one on my watch list. Let me go ahead and start sharing my screen, okay? 1 second. So yeah, like I was saying, I got a gentleman out here putting in some internet, so things were getting a little slow for me this morning. Now, the first one I had on watch was ARDX, right? Let's see if it's still performing. No, not so much. It kind of fell apart. So the reason I was originally watching this one, and we're not going to probably watch this one anymore, I mean, it could be a potential short below 7. But that's a maybe. That's a big maybe. It's already made a huge move to the downside, right? So it's made a huge move. It's now put in a higher, a lower high. So, you know, it's probably going to trade within this channel here for a little bit, and it can either break to the upside or the downside. So you can keep it on watch. Initially, would have been nice for a long, as it was setting up for the same type of move we seen on what was that, like MRTX or like KURV or KTRV, or can't remember the ticker, but it looked very promising to start with this morning. Let's see, what's crack-a-lagging? What's crack-a-lagging, boss? All right, and then obviously, so we'll go over that. ARDX has a 41 million share float, so it is a little higher, but you know, with strong volume, it can move. And then, of course, I'm almost ready to stop talking about HMNY. It's really at that point where I'm over it. I'm just ready for it to come back down completely so everybody can get off their high horses with HMNY and move on to something else. But if there's money to be made, then we're talking about it, right? So HMNY, as you can see, actually I did that. Yeah, that's right. So HMNY, as you can see, it's following this downward resistance trend line very nicely. It keeps popping and touching right on that line and continuing down. So, I mean, let's just take a quick look at the daily chart and look how ugly this looks, right? So it looked all beautiful, but now, man, it just keeps doing that, and I don't get it. I know why. I have to save it the next time I do this. All right, so look at HMNY, right? Look at this huge doji candle right at the top. Red doji, that's very ugly. This thing's probably about to crack and fall down today. Wouldn't be surprised. So today's probably going to be a nice short day on that guy. So, is anybody having problems seeing the video other than Andrew? Brian, yeah. So in my opinion, this is going to be a short day. This is the way I see it. Is it's probably going to fall off the face of the earth at the open. But again, it's really sketchy, and giving people short advice is always harder than, you know, long sometimes. I mean, it's really not. It's there. It's there for the short today. Okay, yeah. Then yeah, I don't know. Someone was having trouble seeing the video, but. Yeah, today's definitely probably going to be a short day. I mean, if you look at it like this, right? And let me see if I can. Yeah, it's hard to say. So you know as well as I do that, let me put it on a 5-day, 5-minute, right? So this is going up the mountain, and this is coming down the mountain, right? So this was continuously going up and up and up and up and up. And then we got to the summit of the mountain. Things started getting choppy. We didn't know if we wanted to continue hiking further up the mountain or if everybody was tired and wanted to turn back and go down the mountain. And now it looks like we're going down the mountain. We put in that fresh low. We just got to wait for it to we're really waiting for it to break below probably this $29 area. That's where I'm really looking at, is below 29 probably. All right, so that's what I have for those guys. Yeah, so Brandon, there was news out this morning. So that is something to be cautious of. And that's the thing, right? So I should mention that. There was news this morning about more stuff with MoviePass. And it makes sense that they released it, right? Because everybody knew that their stock was about to plummet. So, of course, HMNY would release, you know, a news update about them being more invested into MoviePass and fluff up their company even more. That's what's happening right now. That is exactly what's happening. They know their stock price is going to fall off the side of a mountain, so they release press releases, and they release news that the company is still very good, and now they're going to be with MoviePass and $90.95 per month and blah 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 blah, and they're just releasing news to hype up their stock even more right now. After it had a really skeptical day, that's exactly what's happening. So still, you have to be cautious with this, but I do see this being a red day. And if it's not, the pot just keeps getting stirred more and more and more. So, you know, just go with it with some caution, right? I have no idea if there's a loss or not. So let's look at, we'll take a look at INFI real quick. So I looked at INFI this morning, and it does look pretty good. I do like the chart. I looked at it a little early. I looked at it like right here where it didn't have too much going on, so I knew it was going to be one we would have to come back to, right? So it did have some news that even Benzinga says Infinity Pharma announces IPI late breaking presentation at something annual meeting, right? So it is looking pretty good. It is a little bit choppy, but it's still worth looking at, right? So if you look at the daily chart here, you'll notice that the price is at 250. So if we go to 250, we're like right in the middle of this. We're like right here. This is where the stock price is at. We're like right around here. That's where the pre-market high is. So this is technically where that white line is. That's where the stock price is at right now. All right, so if we go to a daily chart, look at that. Wow, it was spot on. So as you can see, that's the pre-market high. It's continuing to make higher lows, or it's trying to right now. Right now, it's trying to make a higher low. So it really has to hold up right in this area. And then we could get a potential break over 256. And then we could have a target area of, once they're at 256, there really is no legitimate target area other than the $3 price point. And then if we were to break $3, then we'd be at the 350 all-time pretty much resistance level and mental resistance level. All right, so INFI is worth taking a look at today. I would definitely keep it on watch. No, I did not. I will take a look at SPI right now. Let's see. Why is it going up is the question. Benzinga had news on it. SPI Energy signed share purchase agreement for worth 33.9. Alpha Fund. So there is some news out on this morning, and that's why it's going up. But I really don't know how I feel about it, honestly. Again, it's a really, really low price stock, and which is fine. I just kind of moved away from playing anything below $1, right? I really have. So, I mean, if we look at the volume, what is the volume at today for it? SPI. Oh, I don't even scan for stocks that low. That's another part of it. So I don't know. I don't know what the volume's at today on that. But it looks like it does actually have some decent volume. It's over 100,000 for sure. So you can keep it on watch. It is trying to put in a higher low right now. That's not what I wanted. So right now it's trying to make a new high and put in that higher low. So it looks okay. It actually looks pretty decent. So just keep it on watch. It's definitely worth watching right now. So Junes, yeah, I mean, I have, but that is something that that when I have my course, I'm actually going to be doing for everybody in there. They're going to really have access to everything that I do live, and they'll be able to really see it. And by doing it on YouTube, it'd really interfere with doing it there, and then it would just be too challenging for me to really do that. So that's all coming real soon. Now, what's CLSN? CLSN. So CLSN I looked at today. It's probably not going to do much, okay? Because if I do some drawings, right, we just have to. Let's look at it 1 second. Let me delete all this, and we'll go through and analyze it as always. All right, so we can see that CLSN was holding this type of trend, right? That was the trend for CLSN. Trend for the past couple days. For just the past day, the trend was like this. And it's broken through both of those trends. So it's broken through its 2-day trend, it's broken through its 1-day trend, and it had resistance right here at $6. And if we were to look onto a daily chart, oh, I'm on the, no, I was dumb. So if we look on the daily chart, we'll know that resistance is right at $6. So this thing just topped at resistance. So now it's probably setting up for a pullback before it continues running. So there is a chance we could break through 6. It's just probably not going to be today. You know, if you look at just the chart here alone, you will see it's kind of falling down, and it really hasn't found its footing. So the question is, you know, where will it find its footing? And that might be like this. That's where I would say probably somewhere where I drew this trend line is where we might see it kind of grab and hold right around that trend line. And if we were to go back to the daily, you'll see that it's actually, no, it'd be more like this real quick. Yeah, that makes sense, right? So we'll probably see it closer to like a 470. I would say a pullback to the 470 areas, $5 areas today. And then we could see it pop because it's made a nice run here. So there's definitely people taking out their money because they see the resistance here. So there's definitely, that's what's going on. And we're going to have to get a little bit of a pullback, I believe, before we make that push through $6 here. Let's see. Good job, Ramesh. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see. Yeah, so David, the program's going to be sweet. And like I said, you know, it's not, and that's the thing is I'm really working pretty hard to get as much of it done as I can. But, you know, Sunday's only so far away and there's only one of me. And I really want to make it so you guys could get, because that's the thing, the site that I partnered with on it, or that I'm working with, is going to run a 50% off special to all the programs there. And so in order for you guys to get that super sick deal, I had to open it on Sunday for you guys. So it won't be completely ready, but you know, at the end of the day, it is what it is. And you know, the course in itself isn't the only value that there is there. I think part of the bigger value is going to be the live trading room, to be honest. So it's going to be sick, honestly. So I'm super excited as well. Now let's see, or just keep it on watch. As CASI. Let's take a look at CASI real quick. Yeah, this was the one yesterday that just popped up out of nowhere. And then it just kind of came right back down. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I probably wouldn't keep this one on watch. You can, honestly, over $4, it might be good, right? Over $4, we might see a little bit of a pop. I really wouldn't be surprised if it did that because it is holding up pretty well on this like $3.20 area. It's at 365. So you can watch it. It's definitely worth watching. Maybe over like the $4 area on CA or CASI. Let's see. Yeah, Earl, I'll have a link on Sunday. On Sunday, I'm going to go live and do a video explaining what's going on with everything, and then have the link posted in there on my Facebook and the Instagram. So the link for everything is going to be very easy to find, and I'll definitely provide it for you guys. You just got to have to be kind of hanging around on social media Sunday. It'll be all over the place, so you should be able to find it. ONCS was another one that I looked at this morning, and it actually is doing pretty well right now. So initially it didn't look so good, but as we can see, it's now put in a higher low. There is a trend that is forming. We've now put in a higher high. So we'll see. Well, actually, technically, we haven't put in a higher high yet till this fully pulls back. But so this actually looks pretty good. What's the news? OncoSec to present updated clinical and immune biomarker data from its monotherapy and combination therapy studies with Immunopulse at the 9th World Congress of Melanoma, a joint meeting with the Society of Melanoma, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, that's got some good news. It's definitely worth watching. I would consider watching it. You know, probably a break over the 130.46 area, or this one will be a pre-market high breakout, or it'll be a breakout of its upward resistance trend line, which is at about 148. Okay, keep that one on watch. Definitely worth watching. Yeah, so SPI, I'll look at it again just to see how it's doing, but I think this is one, yeah, no. I'll stay away from that. Not worth me wanting to risk my money on. And I mean, if you look at it this way too, you know, if you look down here, let's see. It has all this resistance, right? It has the 50, or sorry, the 20, 50, 100, right? I mean, it's got a lot of resistance to go through. So it's really not something I'm very interested in watching. This, whenever you see the price of a stock and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or a bunch of moving averages are right above it, that's never a good sign. That usually means it's going to have trouble spiking because it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or whatever resistance lines to go through prior. Let's see. Let's see, SRNE. So I looked at SRNE. SRNE was a good one yesterday. I think it started to kind of fall apart today, but let me double check. So it does look pretty good, right? Actually, let me go back here. So if you look at SRNE, it just broke through its 200 moving average. So that's the good sign, is we are now over the 200 moving average, pretty extended from our support of the 9 moving average. So the good play was yesterday. It could potentially run today, right? It's still extended, right? So it's possible we can see it run today. There is no news for it this morning. All right, so this is for the past 2, now 3 days. This is the overall trend right here. That's your overall trend for the past 2 days. All right. So from about, that's a little off, but from here to there, and this is the overall trend. So if this one is to sell off today and not break through $4 or $4.10 area, it'll probably find some support right around 340, 330. But as you can see right now, let me point this out. All right, so from this low right here to here, right? Here's the thing: is we needed to put in. Well, here's another thing. All right, let me step back. So from where my cursor's at right now to this low, that was the initial 1 day kind of trend. And then it broke through, right? So once it broke through, what happened? You see that it dropped. Once it broke through this trend line, it dropped. So what we need the price of the stock to do now is we need it to kind of rise up and put in a new high, so then we can now redraw this trend line to rest on the bottom of that low, and now we'll have a new trend to go off of. But right now it looks pretty weak, and I wouldn't necessarily trust it right now. It's got to show us more of a trend right now before we can justify taking any position on it. Okay, we can take a look at Gevo. Take a look at Gevo. Yeah, no, I wouldn't mess with Gevo. It's just low volume stock, nothing really worth looking at there. UGAZ. Yeah, I mean, let's see. Broke trend there, sets new trend. So yeah, it's probably going to have a little bit of resistance here. UGAZ right in the $10.75 area until we put in a new high and pull back. We don't have a downward trend line right now. We broke through that. So until we actually put in a new pullback, we won't have a downward trend line to go off of. So as of right now, the price is just moving up, and you will be chasing it, right? If you're to hop in right now, you're chasing it. We need it to pull back, give us some type of pattern direction, right? And this is what it's kind of following right now. So, you know, this could be a pre-market high break, but this thing doesn't move extraordinarily fast. I'm really not going to be too concentrated on UGAZ. INFI, did I? Yeah, so yeah, INFI looks like it's still worth watching. It's getting a little bit weak right now. It's starting to curl over some, but I think this actually looks pretty strong. I still think this one's a strong candidate, or candidate, you know, whatever you want to say, whatever accent you have. Candidate. Oh, look what happened. Of course, it just pooped on itself. So that's okay. This is fine to see these two big red candles, because now we just have to have it put in some green candles, and then we'll have a little bit of a baby trend like this, that it's falling back up. So we can pay attention to it. We can watch it and see what happens. But you never know. So yeah, this is another one of those kind of, I mean, there's some good ones, right? I mean, I'll just pop into the scan real quick, see if something's changed. INFI, ARI, POLA, SMSI, SMSI, ABXL, yeah, okay. All right, what's this one? Interesting, but not really. Not interesting. Not really interesting. Maybe. No, not very interesting. Yeah, man, CLNT ripped the other day. That was awesome. Perfect. So, yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to end it there. That's really all I got for you guys today. Now, so that's really all I got for you guys today. I'm going to go. I have to hop out here. Go check on the gentleman that's putting in my internet right now. So it's kind of, you know, just in here chatting to myself while he's out there putting my internet in. But so the cool news is that internet should kind of help clear up. I think it'll clear up some of the picture and maybe take away just a little bit of the latency. But, you know, I don't know. I'm not, what do I know? I'm not a tech guy. So I think it will help with some of the quality and maybe some of the video and just a little bit of the latency. And then, like I said, I do plan on getting a new camera for my computer that'll be better than the one that's just installed in the camera. And then I do plan on getting a microphone so that the audio, the camera, everything, it'll be a lot better. And then, you know, with the The internet, yes, the faster internet, that should do it for us. So I think there's a lot of cool things. There's definitely a lot of cool things coming. It just getting it all done in a timely fashion is kind of hard, especially with school. I'm not gonna lie, school's kind of difficult right now just with how much I have going on. But hey, you know, you just gotta push through it. You know, there's no more complaining. You just push through it and get it done, and that's what it is. You know, I was just listening the other day, and my girlfriend said, I'm so tired. I don't want to wake up. I don't want to do this. I'm like, who does? No, who wants to wake up? Nobody. Sleeping's the best, right? You feel good. Who wants to wake up? No one. You just have to do it, right? I mean, I love waking up to do this every morning. So that's all I got for you guys today. So stay tuned. I will be going live on Sunday to go over what the course has to offer and kind of what you guys are going to get before signing up, so you can have a more of an educated decision before purchasing it, right? And then even on the course, I'll have a promotional video, just like a quick 30-second video. And then I'll also have another free video that's in the course that'll give you more of a rundown on what's going on throughout the course. So you're really going to get a good idea as far as what you're getting yourself into before you take the money out of your pocket. So it'll be cool. It'll be sweet. It'll be grand. It's going to be huge. All right, guys. Take care. I'll talk to you. I'll see you tomorrow.